Oh yeah, you can see it bubbling out of there. That stupid bar wasn't in the way.
Oh yeah, like your garage isn't a mess. The deck that's been sitting in the front yard forever, here it is, here she is, all measured, all out, all chopped into pieces. Hopefully we'll be sticking it on the trailer here right away and taking up to the brother-in-law because he's a welder and I am not. Hopefully he'll be able to get her all put together for us. I always make fun of my welding skill a whole bunch, but in this case, this little 110 welder is just not enough. But a couple of days and a few zip discs later, I got everything sized out and all cut up, and I just need to put it all together now. I did say I was gonna get a custom deck built for my half ton, but I had like a mini tragedy unfold the morning that I was supposed to bring it in to the deck builder to have a look and measure everything out. And because of that rough morning, I went a different direction. So between that and work and what I should be doing here in the shop, I feel so super behind right now. Everything's all good and everything's all okay, but it was one of those sharp left turns in life. I'm gonna get her all cleaned up in here for today so we can bring in the turbo, and we got a little bit of repair to do on that. Afterwards, we have to run out to the storage locker and deal with some stuff there. So today's video is just hanging out with the sleds and getting some stuff done, especially because it sounds like we got a trip coming up. Ah, my favorite. She works good, but I like to give it shit. She's just a little salty, just like me. The throttle on this machine was freezing up on me last ride, and when the throttle is sticking like that, that is not something that I like to screw around with. It's a good idea because the ride before that, I actually smashed that whole end of the handlebars into a tree, and that's when that throttle really started becoming temperamental, even though it was sticking before that. So let's just do the right thing. Let's replace the cable. I actually didn't show this part on video because my GoPro was between batteries, but the throttle stuck on me bad a couple of times. And this Pelican case or pack out or whatever it is, this case actually spanked me pretty bad a couple of times. Then I think if we get that done on the turbo here, we will head over to the storage locker and we'll go get the 2-tracked beast out. And I'm almost positive that one doesn't run. Let's start with the throttle cable on this one here today. A little bit of extra work to do on this one to get at it. A couple of extra tubes that need to come out. And then we'll head over to the storage locker. We'll grab the 2-track unit and we'll bring it home. It's actually like even pretty sticky and stiff still as is. So not something fun to be thinking about while you're riding. Okay, there's only one thing in here for us. The other things are for Dad. Yeah, Dad's been working on acquiring a lot of old, mainly 80s Honda bikes, so we're gonna have to bring him this and see what he's been up to. Saddlebags. All right, well, he'll see these in the video before he even gets them. I know he's excited for these ones. But for us in this shipment, we get the throttle cable. So we have an SPI Sun and Snow throttle cable. We're gonna throw at this thing because that is cheaper than going to Cat. All right, if you guys are doing your throttle cable, actually pretty easy to do. You just follow it down, follows along this strut, down back around here. It's gonna look quite a bit different for you guys because this has a turbocharger on it. So you're not gonna have all this piping and stuff like that. That'll all be like built into the hood over there. So pretty easy to get at. All you're gonna wanna do is get this plate off from over top of your ECU, and to do that, pop off the exhaust. That's the easiest way to do it. Right down in there is where the throttle cable is. You don't gotta worry about like oil pump alignment or nothing like that on these. Pop the cable out of the block, route it in properly, throw it in the throttle body, and away you go. There it is. That's where she all mounts up. Dirty kitty. And just follows along back under the ECU. You won't have any of this stuff in your way, but Back along there, there's the adjuster, right in the middle of the frame there. Back up and over to the throttle block. Here, I'll throttle it so you can see it. We'll just take that little jam nut out, loosen it off on the top, then we'll follow around to where that adjuster boot is. Sorry, I got the turbo in here, so it makes it harder to show stuff, but that's where the adjuster is, under that boot. Yeah, I actually, I made a wrench for doing this one. On the older ones, it's a little bit tighter in here. And then there's just a little C-clip right back in here. You gotta be super careful about. Yeah, definitely some rubbage issues on this throttle cable, so good things to check when you pull it out. Yeah, so we can go ahead and make sure that this doesn't happen with our new one now. So there we have it. We got the throttle cable put back in the old turbo. Feels way better now. Couple of tips after you put your new cable in, or while you're putting it in, make sure that the routing is all proper, that it's not going to be rubbing or chafing anywhere like that last one was. Then you're going to check your throttle free play and you're going to find the adjuster. In this case, the adjuster is right there, and I already have mine put in. There will be a spec for throttle free play right there. I run these monsters just a hair on the loose side, not very much, but just a hair. And then once you do that, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna turn your sled full left, make sure that that's not sticking, full right, make sure that's not sticking. Do your safety checks, you're good to go. Okay, I'm gonna stick this thing all back together now, and this thing is good to go out again. I think that was the only issue we were having. And I think we're still gonna have time to go get the Alpine too. So you guys may have noticed what I've done with my belts here, and a couple people have asked, hey, where do you keep your belts on these things? This is what I do. This is where I've always kept my belts. Don't let it get too close to your exhaust. It will melt. But I've had my belts sitting right here for a long time. So I got this one just over the clutch cover, and this one kind of just attached to it, since these machines don't really have a great place for belt storage, and these old ones didn't either. Here, on this one, I always kept them all just like, yeah, just sitting in there like that. I think I've got the primary clutch pretty good now. I'm going to adjust the weights on it again, though. It'll be the quickest clip you've ever seen. Don't worry, baby. It's your last year. And then next year, I don't know. We're gonna get into something new here. And then I don't know what we'll do with this thing. Sleds around here don't typically disappear. Like this 2014 M8 that used to have the 162 that we put the little 141 in. We had that out last time in the like spring hero snow.
Can't really complain about the climbing.
That thing was absolutely awesome. Then we also have the old 86 Phaser sitting out in storage that had like that 114 track or whatever it was on it. And we put the 159 RMK skid in it. Man, I've always been like the lightest guy on the absolute heaviest sled. So could you imagine like me on like an RMK or something like that? But since it's still early enough in the day, we're gonna have to go over to the storage locker and we're gonna have to pull that dual track unit out of there right now. You guys, you get to see it all today. Everything from the awesome Mountain Mod turbos to 71 dual track sleighs.
The old dual track has a battery in it. That's good. Yeah. Well, this will definitely work, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa! What? It just spat fuel all out the side of the engine. I guess the air exhaust is what it would be. I'll see if I can get this to do it again, but. Oh yeah, you can see it bubbling out of there. That stupid bar wasn't in the way. Oh, that's fun. Oh, well, that sucks. But we're gonna have to leave her here today. This is actually like the unit that I would want to do like a full restore. I've been kind of kicking around the idea of doing like a full mint condition build. This would be the perfect unit for it. I think in most cases, this sled is pretty useless. It's slow, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't turn. My favorite part is that your foot gets to ride right on the secondary clutch, which sits right behind that guard. It does tow well. That's like the only thing it does that's like of any use to us at all. So because this thing is like so useless, it makes it like a prime candidate for us to do a rebuild on it. I'm not gonna be pulling that thing up on the trailer all by myself. I've done that before, and it took about 3 of us and some creative situations and solutions to get it off. So I'm gonna wait for a little bit of help. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave that for now. Well, that sucks. I was really hoping we'd get that thing home today. We rebuilt that motor, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago when we first got that thing? That thing has an interesting story of when we picked it up. We kind of saved it. So we'll probably have to take off that cylinder head. We'll definitely have to take it off. And we'll have to check it for just flatness. We might have to get it sent away, get it machined or something like that. But we'll take it off and we'll make that part of the restore, because that's kind of what I wanted to do that thing anyway. I mean, that motor, I'd say it went down pretty quick all in all. Usually my motors last a little longer than that. We'll have to check back on the video which cylinder was torched. Oh, whatever. That definitely explains it not starting. This isn't the first time I was in there trying to drag it out. And I am not dragging it onto the trailer by myself. I've done it with 3 people and it was almost impossible. I'm not doing it by myself. So we'll call in some help to get that thing home again. Yeah, it would be very strange that we would blow a head gasket on that thing that quick. That's fast. I mean, that thing definitely never got like a fully proper break-in or anything like that. I think like the break-in on that unit was tying up that toboggan trailer to it and then towing that with like 300 or 400 pounds of gear in it. I think that was break-in for that thing, but that would not explain why the head gasket would have went. Really, the only thing that could cause that, because we wouldn't have overheated it or nothing like that, would be that the head is not a flat surface. So the whole plan was to actually have that thing on the deck, have a good look at the machine, and then see what we need to do to get that thing restored to like a pretty like fairly new condition. But now we're doing a motor on it, which is definitely a surprise to me. We will put that on the project list. I know we've got like a huge pile of them, and the list keeps getting longer because I didn't expect. I thought we would throw that thing on the trailer. We'd bring it back here. We'd load it off into the garage, and we'd have a look at it and say, hey, what do we need to do to this thing to make it like a mint unit? That's what was in today's video plan. But instead, we're going to be doing a motor on it again. So if you've been with the channel a little while, we got that sled for free from one of Dad's friends, and it's been in the family and around for a bit. One of the cylinders was torched. We did our rebuild. We rode it for like 3 years. Dad had it out at the ranch there. He was riding around on it. I did not expect to see that, of all things. I didn't expect to see a blown head gasket. We'll probably turn that into one of the summer projects because you guys are missing the summer project, and so am I. We had a 45-degree temperature swing, and it is now beautiful. Not like when we were out at the poker alley there. So after that month-long cold snap we had, now everything is melting. Like all the snow in the back, in the field, it's gone. We got some more rides and stuff coming for you, so no worries there. I've got a whole bunch of the projects are lined up. The problem I'm having is getting everything ready and our space ready to work on stuff. It's just been like the last month and a half for me or so, like that has just been like so crazy. So many left turns in life that I just haven't been able to get the shop space set up. Because you guys are missing the projects, and I am too. I want to get back into those. And it looks like we just made one for ourselves. We'll get that thing brought back over here, and we'll pop the engine apart on it again, and we'll see what happened to it. I think I'm going to look around in here, and I think I'm going to actually, like, build a dolly for that thing. Because that thing doesn't, like, move around well. It's like, it's tough to move even when it's running. Let alone like sitting in the garage. It doesn't fit on like the wheels for the ski wheels or anything like that. It's a nightmare to move around. So I'm going to look around the shop here. I'm going to build like a dolly system for it because I ain't rebuilding it right there. We'll have to call in some help. We'll go get that thing, bring it back to the shop. We'll tear the engine apart. I'll have a dolly for it. And we'll put that one back on the project list. The project list right now is very long, and we're going to be spending a lot of spring and summer doing some fun stuff in the shop here, as well as some other awesome things that I have lined up for you guys for this spring and summer. And I think some of it is going to be pretty surprising. Thanks everybody for watching this video. What do I got to do now? I think I got to pack. More videos coming your guys' way very soon. I'm going to wrap it up here. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. See you guys in the next video.